the tribes. The 12 stars, that simply represents the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay? All right? And where it tells you in verse 2, it says that the woman cried out in pain. Cried out in pain. This is not actually symbolizing Jesus in his birth, but it's symbolizing the birth of us all. Okay? She's crying out in pain because there's a war going on right now between Satan and God. Okay? And Michael, the archangel, is the one that's going to lead the other angels to fight. Okay? All right, you understand that? Now, when it comes to the universe, that is what represents the 7 heads. The 7 heads represents the universe. Now, me, myself, I wasn't that great when it came to the study of the universe and the solar system, but this is what they're talking about. This represents the universe in its entirety. Okay? All right? Now, the red dragon. We know what the red dragon is. The red dragon is the devil himself. Okay? It's like a mythological way of putting it. The ancient ancestor people, the way they put it. It was the red dragon. Now, we had other representation. For Egypt, they called it the red crocodile. So, in other words, Satan has what? Many names. Many names. Yes. Many names. And I do have a list in here that gives you all the names that they call Satan, including the disaster, the destroyer, okay, the fallen one, okay, the leader of the lost ones. He has several names. Okay. So don't be fooled because he got a new one in the world called the Illuminati. Don't be fooled when they call these names and convince yourself that it's okay. He has a lot of names. So don't worry about what they call him. Just worry about, if he's not doing right in your life and things are going wrong, then it's because of that old demonic spirit. Okay? So don't allow yourself to get fooled into doing bad things. All right? Adults as well as kids. Don't let nobody trick you. You ever been tricked, Larry? Did you fall for it?
A few times.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, we fall for it sometimes. Booby looking at you. She fell for it. Yeah, the grown-ups even fall for it. We do. Sometimes Satan tricks us, and we do the worst things that you could ever believe.
Make it look so good.
Yeah, make it look good. We might even be laughing when we do it. But if you don't see a good thing happening out of it, if we end up being bad because of the things we done, or being mean and evil because of it, then it wasn't that good, was it? No. That's why you got to make some changes in your life. You got to make some changes and realize who is running it. Is it the red dragon? Because he will definitely cause some problems. Because of the red dragon, stars, half of them got knocked out of heaven. You know who those stars were? The fallen angels. All because of him. See, Satan has a big purpose. He runs this place. This earth, he's in charge of. Yeah. He's in charge of it. He's in control of it. And all the wrong stuff you do is because of him. But God is so good. He sent an angel down to protect us. He was the one that was fallen because of our pains and sufferings that we put on him. He had to rise up out of all of that dirt. And God did what? It said what he did. It said that he grabbed up the child and pulled him up to heaven. In other words, when Jesus died for all of us, what did God do with him after he was done? He grabbed him up and ascended him into heaven is how we put it. He ascended. He ascended like a dove in the sky. And you probably hadn't seen too many doves ascend. But watch the birds when they're on the ground or on the trees, how they just take off up in the sky. Do they have a hard time doing it? No, because God has given them the wings to do it with. God has given them. And the wings that he has given you is in your heart to fly with, to grow with, to bloom like a flower to something beautiful. Because you ever seen go around the house when church is over. I got some flowers that used to be on the porch. They saw their days. They're dead. And God willing, they'll come back next year. But when we die, if God is willing, because of the way we lived, we will do what? Just like Jesus. Ascend to heaven. Not, and let me get it right, because I don't want you to be misunderstanding this. When you die, and they place you in that coffin bed, and close that top and put you in the ground, you're going to stay there until God says, Booby, Destiny, Zakiah, get up. Yeah. And when he call your name, you're going to do what? Ascend. Ascend out of the grave. You won't stay dead. Not if you love the Lord.
I do.
But you have to continue to love him as you grow.
I do.
You do?
I do.
Well, how many times have you got in trouble at home? That was a little sign of, I ain't thinking about God right now. I don't care what he think at this moment, because I'm going to be doing whatever I want. So see, for those moments, you didn't love him enough. So you got to love him enough all the time in order to ascend. Okay? All right? A son, a male child, that's the Messiah himself. We know that they're talking about God, because we know that God was the one snatched up, which is also in chapter 2, verse 27, showing that he was snatched up. And I'm going to read it for you, chapter 2, 27. He will rule them with a scepter. What did they say back here? What did they say about the scepter? Didn't they mention that he's going to rule with a scepter? And who did they just say in the beginning of Revelations is going to rule with the scepter? The Lord, because he wrote this himself. He's saying this through John. This is his exact words. It says he will dash them like pieces, to pieces like pottery. Just as I have received authority from my Father. See, we're going to go down. Those that don't trust in God's word, those that don't live right, those that get in trouble, not sometime, but all the time, and never say, God, forgive me. I'm sorry. They're going down, just like Satan. See, Satan has been cast down one time, just to the earth. But when the Lord comes back, he's going deeper. He's going to be cast down to the pit within the earth. Okay. That's like a big, giant, deep hole that's 50 times taller than you are, for example, that you could never climb out of. Okay. You can never do anything good enough to get back out of it. Once you go to hell, is there any coming back? No. Is there anything you can tell God that you can't tell him now to keep you out of there? Is it? Yeah. What is it?
Or if you got in trouble, just say, I'm sorry.
Exactly. Tell him now that you're sorry. Show him that you're sorry by what? Are you going to go back and do it again?
No.
No. No. So the things that you have already gotten in trouble for, how many times have you gotten in trouble for them again? I got in trouble for a couple things that I did several times because I didn't learn my lesson to stop doing it. And when I finally learned my lesson, I had to do some hard trouble to stop it. I got a big trouble for it with God. See, pastors get in trouble too before they become pastors. Pastors get in trouble after they become pastors if they don't do right. And guess what? Pastors get in much worse trouble than you'll ever get in. Much worse trouble. Much worse. They don't just go to hell, but they go to a big fiery pit and they burn forever with the demons. Okay. Who want to live that way? And guess who else will burn forever? But they just won't be in the pit. They'll be in another section of heaven. Heaven got several sections. I think about 7. One is a black phase that you can see nothing. It's the abyss, like a deep pit that I'm telling you about. I mean, hell. I'm talking about hell, Terry. Heaven got several rooms too. Okay, but I ain't talking about heaven. You go to heaven and get in one of those rooms, you're doing good.
Yeah.
But if you go to the hell and you get in one of those rooms, none of them are going to be good. None of them. So you want to try while you're little to listen to your parents and your grandparents and your uncles and your aunts and Miss Laurie and anyone that's as old as we are telling you to do right. You want to listen. But you're not going to listen. And you're going to run and tell somebody if they're telling you to do what? Wrong. Okay. Because everything that grown-ups say is not like God. It's not always pleasing. Sometimes we're very evil. Sometimes grown-ups are evil. And did you know who else could be really evil? How old are you, boo?
8.
Well, it was a kid, 12, that killed his parents. And it was 2 twins. I think they was like 15 or 16. They murdered their parents. So see, evil is not just how old you are.